Now, I know this might be new information for a lot of people, but there's actually four major stages to alcoholism and alcohol use disorder. Excuse me. And as I go through these, if any of these relate to you, you might want to schedule a breakthrough call, because if it's affecting you physically, emotionally, or if it's affecting the people in your life, you might want to do something about it before it gets out of control. So as I go through these, if something resonates with you, maybe it's time to take some action. But as we go through this, let's start with stage one. Now, stage one is really the experimental stage, and this usually starts between the ages of 13 and 20. This is when most people start their alcohol use disorder career or alcoholic career. It's when you're trying different things, like you're trying beer and wine and spirits, and you're understanding and getting an idea how it affects your body and your mind. A lot of people will drink at this period because it's peer pressure, and they like how it feels. You're able to deal with awkward situations. The introverted, personality or undeveloped personalities that so many of us have before we reach into our 20s. And this is where it all starts. Now, stage two is when you've really created a habit. You've begun to drink, maybe not every day, but you're binge drinking on weekends on a regular basis, and you look forward to it. And maybe those weekends, they start to take over weekdays because you're getting over a hangover, and that hangover goes into Monday, so you need a hair of the dog on Monday, which goes into Tuesday. And before you know it, you're drinking 4 out of 7 days. And if that continues over the next year or 2 or 5, those 4-day drinking binges can turn into 7-day drinking binges. And then you become late stage 2 into stage 3. A lot of it has to do with how long you've been drinking, how much you drink, and how often that you drink. But this is the beginnings. This is the ground floor of alcoholism. And then, of course, there's stage 3, and this is by far the longest stage. This is after you've really started a habit. You've been drinking on a regular basis. This is where you started with 3 or 4 glasses of wine after work, and it's developed into 2 bottles of wine at night, or 30 beers at night, and it's become your normal stance. It's your normal activity, and you need to drink to stay normal, unfortunately. And if you don't drink, your body's going to erupt. It's going to fight you. You're going to become sick. You're going to become toxic. This is where it affects your relationships. It affects your mind, your body, but most importantly, it affects everybody around you. This is where you start to lose friends in the later stage 3. Your family becomes stressed out. All relationships become stressed, and it's a downward cycle from there. In the later stages 3 into stage 4 is when you become completely immersed in the alcohol, and it becomes the number one most important relationship in your life, unfortunately. And then, of course, there's stage 4, and I've done a lot of videos on this, but this is really the saddest stage of all. This is when your life is nothing but one example of trying to get alcohol after another. Your whole life is immersed in alcohol. If you're either trying to get it, you're trying to drink it, you're trying to find it, or you're preparing the alcohol. Most of your relationships have long since dissipated. The only friends you have are people who also drink. You have extreme physical problems. You probably have cirrhosis of the liver, fatty liver. You've prematurely aged. And you can even get into things like wet brain. It's already affecting your brain. You're having forms of dementia, and there's not much left. You don't have a job. Somebody's supporting you. You're either that or you're on some kind of disability. Your life is really in a sad, sad state. Sometimes they can relate to homelessness, all kinds of horrible issues. You've probably been to detox and rehabs and in jail, and if you have a car even, I'm sure you've had DUIs by this stage, and you're knocking on heaven's door. And if you don't stop, you're going to be dead within a year or 2. And again, if any of these stages resonate with you, click on the link above, schedule a breakthrough call. I go over, very in depth on each one of these stages. This is a quick overview. If you have a family member or yourself, if you need additional help, schedule a breakthrough call. I've helped thousands of alcoholics and also their families. And again, please like, share, and comment. Also, we have a Facebook group called Amanda, A Cautionary Tale of Alcoholism, which is becoming a very good support group. And we go over, these issues and everything having to do with alcoholism. And again, thanks for listening.